Rob Demovsky and Pete Dougherty back at Lambeau Field after day 2 of the NFL draft, and Pete, Ted Thompson traded up twice today. He walked to the podium and with a straight face said, "I've gone crazy." Has he gone crazy?
A little flash of humor there. You know, we all know that they need a defense, but if there was any doubt or that he drafts for need, I mean, it was aggressive to get. They needed a lot of help on defense, and they did. And as Caper said, he was beaming and he was happy because they got a lineman, a linebacker, and somebody for the secondary, all 3 levels.
Jarrell Worthy is, if I'm not mistaken, a guy you had going right at the end of the first round in your mock draft. I know there was some knock on whether the guy played 100% or played hard all the time. Sean Hirock said it's hard for big guys to play all out all the time.
There's some truth to that. You know, because the funny thing is, doing this draft series, I've been doing this thing since, I don't know, 94 or 5 or somewhere in there.
Yeah, you've got another 10, 15, 20 years at you.
And a lot of, it's a complaint every year about those big guys. So many guys you talk to, these guys don't play hard. It's pretty rare when there's a 310-pounder where they say, boy, this guy just plays after every snap. So sometimes you wonder if it's a little bit scout speak, but there were enough who had complaints about both him and Devin Still from Penn State, and that's who that pick came down to, was those 2. They chose Worthy ahead of Still.
With the second round pick, they drafted Vanderbilt cornerback Casey Hayward. Boy, I was going to say Craig Hayward, the old running back, right? But what they didn't do was take a safety. What do you make of that?
They're still going to have to pick one, I would assume. They've got 7 picks tomorrow. So,
but anybody they pick going forward is not going to be an immediate start.
First 3 rounds, the guy would have a great shot at starting. From the 4th round on back, it's a little shaky. I can only think of one 4th rounder that they drafted when they stuck the guy in the starting lineup right away, and that was Niall Diggs.
Sure.
That's the only time I remember he was a 4th rounder. So anybody else is just a guy who maybe can do it. So they're going to either have to move Woodson to safety or go with the 3 guys opposite Morgan Burnett that are coming back. Pepra, help me here.
M.D. Jennings
and Anthony Levine.
Yeah. Joe Witt and Dom Capers both talked a little bit about Woodson moving to safety. Nothing definitive, but when they said things like, well, if we moved him, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. When they're saying things like that, it makes you think they're at least considering it. We will wrap this thing up on Saturday after day 3 of the draft.